The only time I'd heard of Sid and Marty Krofft was, of course, from Puff and Stuff. They were the producers of it, and you saw the credits. But no, in England they weren't known. Obviously in America, yes.
The Bugaloos?
If you get into trouble and you need very quick repair, just call the Bugaloos and we'll be there. The Bugaloos wasn't just a kids show, it was a fever dream wrapped in glitter wings, Beatles knockoff harmonies, and neon villainy that buzzed straight into the chaos of Saturday mornings. One villain lived inside a jukebox and blasted bad songs like weapons. One rock legend nearly became a grasshopper. And one psychedelic dune buggy vanished into thin air, leaving behind nothing but rumors. These are 30 strangest facts about the Bugaloos. But wait until the end, because the bonus fact reveals how one jittery firefly became the show's unlikely heart. So strap on your wings, because your childhood memories are about to be zapped, jukebox style, into psychedelic chaos.
Cling, you little brat! I'm trying to...
Fact 1. Krofft Chaos lands on NBC.
Bugaloos had a lot of attention.
September 12th, NBC unleashed the Bugaloos, a Sid and Marty Krofft fever dream disguised as children's TV. 17 episodes, that's it. Yet inside those few weeks lived surreal villains, glitter wings, and Beatles-inspired pop that felt more like psychedelia than Saturday morning cartoons. 4 British teens in bug suits fought evil with songs in Tranquility Forest, while parents half watching from the couch wondered if they'd slipped into a kaleidoscopic nightmare. The show ended by 1972, stretched only by reruns. The fallout, one short season was enough to brand itself forever in nostalgic memory, proof that sometimes the strangest creations buzz the loudest. Fact 2. One season, endless reruns.
The Bugaloos, the Bugaloos.
By fall 1971, NBC had nothing new to offer. Their solution, hit replay. The same 17 episodes looped again as if fresh. Kids at home swore they were seeing new adventures, but it was déjà vu with different commercials. A scratched record disguised as a TV show, and strangely, it worked. Repetition carved the Bugaloos into memory. Every lyric, every glitter wing, every goofy villain etched into young brains. One season, infinite echoes. What looked like a lazy shortcut became a time capsule of devotion, proving scarcity can turn weirdness into legend. Fact 3. 4 teens, 4 bugs.
Joy, you escaped!
How'd you get away?
Are we glad to see you?
At the center, 4 British teenagers transformed into singing insects. Caroline Ellis became Joy the butterfly. John McIndoe leapt in as IQ the grasshopper. Wayne Leria buzzed around as Harmony the bumblebee. And John Philpott dotted himself as Courage the ladybug. They didn't just act, they sang, danced, and hauled the show's musical weight. But the costumes, hot, heavy, miserable, like performing inside a glitter-coated sauna. Still, they smiled through sequence, selling the illusion of a magical bug band saving the day. The fallout? Pain behind the wings, sparkle on the surface, the perfect TV illusion. Fact 4, they're insect alter egos.
Oh yeah?
Each bug came with quirks. IQ used grasshopper logic. Harmony bumbled with comic charm. Courage was timid despite his spots. And Joy floated with butterfly grace. These archetypes let kids pick a favorite bug, turning costumes into companions. But filming was brutal. Fiberglass wings strapped on so tightly they left bruises, sweat dripping in the blazing Los Angeles heat. What looked whimsical on screen was, in truth, survival. The revelation? This wasn't child's play. It was gladiator work in glitter, endurance theater disguised as whimsy, and somehow the magic still reached the screen. Fact 5, Benita Bizarre's jukebox lair.
I'm going to steal your voice. Isn't that wild?
Still my voice!
Every hero needs a villain. The Bugaloos had one of the strangest, Benita Bizarre, played with volcanic energy by Martha Raye. Her home? A giant jukebox. Not a cave, not a castle, a jukebox that blasted shrill songs like weapons. The set glowed like a nightmare disco, while Raye strutted in neon wigs and cackled with operatic madness. For kids, the idea that evil lived inside your stereo was unforgettable. The legacy? Benita wasn't just a villain, she was pop art chaos incarnate. Proof that Saturday morning TV could take a jukebox and make it terrifying. Fact 6, her deadly stereo zapper.
The Bugaloos! That's not a voice, it's a foghorn, and I don't want it!
Benita's lair held her most dangerous toy, the stereo zapper. One flip of the switch, and its ultrasonic blast dropped victims instantly. Kids laughed, Kids winced. Could music really knock you out cold? On set, the prop constantly malfunctioned, frustrating the crew. On screen, it became iconic. Writers used it again and again, turning bad music into a literal weapon. The consequence? The stereo zapper blurred comedy and dystopia, part running gag, part Orwellian nightmare in sequins. It left kids wondering if music could save you, could it also control you? Fact 7. Sparky the Firefly.
When I'm aroused, I can be vicious.
Every team needs a heart. For the Bugaloos, it was Sparky the Firefly. Nervous, jittery, always second-guessing himself, he was no hero, but he was real. Played by little person legend Billy Barty, Sparky shook, doubted, and fumbled, all while glowing like a flashlight in the dark. Kids laughed at his clumsy antics, but quietly saw themselves in him, the anxious misfit who kept trying anyway. The ripple effect? Sparky wasn't just comic relief, he was proof that even the smallest, most insecure voice could still light the way when it mattered most. Fact 8. 5,000 auditions for 4 bugs.
I feel fine today, just the same as yesterday, it's good.
Spring 1970, Britain. A casting call like no other. Over 5,000 teenagers auditioned for just 4 roles. Charisma, vocals, stage presence, all tested under harsh spotlights. The odds, worse than winning the lottery. Among the hopefuls were names who'd later brush stardom, but only 4 earned wings. For those chosen, it was instant fame. For the rest, heartbreak. What it meant, the Bugaloos weren't random hires. They were the hand-picked survivors of one of TV's biggest casting hunts, a Beatles-style invasion in sequins engineered for Saturday mornings. Fact 9. Phil Collins almost became a grasshopper.
All right, cool it. Let Sparky talk.
Before drumming his way into Genesis, Phil Collins was almost a bug. In 1970, Collins reached the final shortlist for IQ, the grasshopper, sequined wings waiting in the wings. He even competed against John Reed, who would go on to manage Elton John. Imagine Collins hopping through Tranquility Forest instead of stadiums, belting bubblegum pop instead of prog rock. He lost the role to John McIndoe, but the what-if lingers. The twist, Collins found global superstardom, while the Bugaloos scored an irresistible trivia hook, forever remembered as the show that almost stole a rock icon. Fact 10. The British Monkeys pitch.
Oh no! It's Benita the Banshee!
When NBC sold the Bugaloos, they pitched it as the Monkeys with wings. 4 young musicians, surreal adventures, and pop songs stitched into comedy. But here's the twist. Instead of guitars and groovy apartments, these teens battled a jukebox villain in sequined bug suits. They really sang many of their songs, and their Beatles-esque accents gave authenticity. Still, lightning didn't strike twice. The Monkeys topped charts. The Bugaloos flapped into cult status. The legacy, the comparison saddled them with impossible expectations, but the insect spin carved out a stranger, more psychedelic lane forever remembered as the Monkeys' glitter-coated cousins. Fact 11. Shot in Los Angeles, not London.
Have you ever seen anything so gorgeous? Well, let's hear it for the winner, folks.
Though cast from Britain, the Bugaloos filmed entirely in Los Angeles. That choice created a bizarre mashup. British teens sweating under fiberglass wings, singing American-written pop songs, all inside a fake forest melting under studio lights. The oversized mushrooms warped, fiberglass trees cracked. Technicians scrambled to patch the psychedelic set daily. What looked like enchanted woodland was really a hot box of glitter and glue. The revelation? The Bugaloos embodied transatlantic weirdness, British charm colliding with Hollywood excess. A children's dream forest built on sweat, sequins, and the relentless California sun. Fact 12. Woofer and Tweeter, villains with speakers for heads.
Thank you, little pussycats.
Thanks for what?
Yeah, what'd we do?
You just gave me the idea of the century.
Benita Bizarre's henchmen weren't humans, they were walking stereo speakers. Woofer and Tweeter costumed with giant speaker heads that made movement clumsy and muffled every line. Actors inside complained of heat exhaustion and hearing nothing but their own echo. On screen, though, their slapstick chaos reinforced Benita's jukebox empire. They weren't just lackeys, they were tech weaponized into comedy. The ripple effect? Woofer and Tweeter remain burned into memory as absurd mascots for the show's theme, music's power to entertain, control, and collapse into chaos. Saturday mornings never looked weirder. Fact 13. Funky Rat the chauffeur.
Ach du lieber Limburger!
Benita's entourage included one recycled oddity, Funky Rat. With buck teeth, a dragging tail, and a heavy German accent, he chauffeured his mistress in slapstick devotion. If he looked familiar, it's because his costume was repurposed from H.R. Pufnstuf's Heinrich Rat. The Krofft brothers never wasted a good creature suit, they just resparkled it and gave it a new voice. Kids loved his bumbling loyalty, though adults raised eyebrows at the accent. The consequence? Funky Rat proved the Krofft universe was stitched together from recycled chaos, each costume carrying history into a new psychedelic circus. Fact 14. The custom Boogaloo buggy.
Sparky, where is that little nipper?
I'm coming. I'm coming.
The Bugaloos didn't only fly, they cruised. Enter the rainbow-colored Boogaloo buggy, designed by George Barris, the king of the customizers. This was the man behind the Batmobile and Munster's coach, now building a dune buggy dipped in psychedelic paint. With oversized seats and candy-colored curves, it was half carnival ride, half roadster. Kids wanted to drive it, the cast dreaded maneuvering it. It stalled, it scraped, it struggled to roll smoothly on set. The fallout? The buggy became a cult icon anyway, proof that impractical design can still burn itself into pop culture memory. Fact 15, Barris's fun buggy DNA.
Gina, Joy, where are you?
Barris didn't start from scratch. The Bugaloos ride borrowed DNA from his earlier fun buggy fiberglass body design, built in limited runs across California beaches. He simply remixed the mold, repainted it in wild psychedelic shades, and added Krofft flair. Kids thought it was otherworldly, never realizing they were staring at a reskinned beach buggy. The revelation? The Bugaloos car wasn't just fantasy. It had real ties to surf culture, blending countercultural cool with Saturday morning surrealism. Authenticity and absurdity welded together in fiberglass. Fact 16. Where's the buggy now?
She flew on ahead with Gina to help her with her makeup. So let's go.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Here's the mystery. Unlike the Batmobile or Munster's coach, the original Bugaloo buggy vanished. No museum display, no official auction, nothing. Some whisper it was sold quietly to a collector. Others claim it rotted in a lot. Fiberglass should have survived decades, but the trail is cold. Fans still scour car shows and collector circles, hoping it will resurface. The legacy? The Bugaloo buggy became a ghost artifact, an icon of TV's golden age that literally disappeared into legend, making it one of pop culture's strangest lost relics. Fact 17. Theme song pedigree.
The Bugaloos?
That infectious theme? It wasn't just another jingle. Lyrics by Norman Gimbel, music by Charles Fox, the duo behind Killing Me Softly, Happy Days, and Laverne and Shirley. Grammy-level pedigree powering a kids' show about bug teens and glitter. Kids hummed along without realizing they were hearing music crafted by legends. The ripple effect. The Bugaloos theme stands as proof that even the weirdest Saturday morning experiments could attract top-shelf talent. It gave the show a polish far beyond its fiberglass wings and foam forests. Fact 18. Hull Yorgler, the music architect.
I don't have a care, my singing fills the air. It's good to feel so free.
While the Kroffts built psychedelic forests, Hull Yorgler built the soundtrack. As music director, he wrote most of the Bugaloos' bubblegum pop songs, catchy hooks wrapped in psychedelic flair. He wasn't chasing radio charts, he was chasing melodies simple enough for kids to hum all day. Every chorus had sparkle, every verse an earworm. Unlike the Krofft brothers, who obsessed over spectacle, Yorgler focused on sound. The result? The Bugaloos didn't feel like actors in costumes, they felt like a real band. His work blurred the line between Saturday morning fantasy and genuine 1970s pop ambition, giving the show surprising credibility. Fact 19, Capitol Records LP. In 1970,
Sparky, look out!
Oh,
Look out!
Capitol Records released the Bugaloos' one and only album, Catalog's ST621, featuring 11 studio tracks. Songs like For a Friend and The Senses of Our World tried to launch the glitter-winged cast as actual pop stars. The cover showed them in bug costumes, sealing their dual identity as both characters and musicians. For kids, holding that vinyl meant the magic of Tranquility Forest lived in their bedroom. Sales never rivaled the Monkees or Teen Idols, but the LP became a treasure. The fallout? Today, original pressings can fetch hundreds, a physical relic of one season's pop fantasy experiment. Fact 20, Billboard appearance.
Oh, join.
December 18, 1970, a Saturday morning kids band landed on Billboard. For a Friend reached number 118 on the Bubble Underchart. Just 1 week, then gone. Still, it meant the Bugaloos were ranked alongside professional artists, if only briefly. For a TV show about insect teens, it was surreal validation. One blip, then silence. The legacy? That fleeting chart entry turned the Bugaloos into one of bubblegum pop's strangest, almost famous stories. A cult band that brushed stardom, only to vanish back into Saturday morning reruns. Fact 21, unreleased TV songs.
You're a little prettier today.
The Bugaloos recorded more than fans realized. 4 songs aired on television, but never appeared on the Capitol LP. Sparky, I'm As Happy As Can Be, I Really Love You, and Flickertown. Kids who taped episodes at home unknowingly captured rare audio no one else could own. When reruns ended, the tracks disappeared. Collectors spent decades hunting for bootlegs, desperate to complete the discography. The ripple effect? The missing songs became cult treasures, adding mystery to a band that lived somewhere between fantasy and reality, an incomplete puzzle fans are still piecing together. Fact 22, Collective Soul's 1995 tribute.
Do you want that rotten old biddy to become a movie star?
I think it would be just fabulous.
2 decades later, the Bugaloos made the most unexpected comeback through alt-rock. Collective Soul covered their theme for Saturday morning cartoons' greatest hits 1995, reimagining the glitter-winged anthem with crunching guitars. Suddenly, 90s kids discovered Bug Teens alongside Scooby-Doo and Josie and the Pussycats. What started as bubblegum turned into grunge-flavored nostalgia. The consequence? The Bugaloos leapt into MTV-era playlists, proving their music had strange durability. From Saturday mornings to alternative radio, their theme became one of the weirdest cross-decade revivals in cartoon history. Fact 23, Peter Platter and KOK Radio.
No, Gina hasn't made the scene either. She hasn't?
Inside Tranquility Forest lived Peter Platter, a DJ for KOK Radio, and his talking microphone Mike. For kids, he was comic relief. For adults, he was satire, an exaggerated nod to real DJs shaping pop trends. The Bugaloos weren't just battling villains, they were plugged into a cartoon version of the record industry. The ripple effect? Platter's presence made the show weirdly meta, mocking the same radio culture trying to launch the Bugaloos as a real band. It was both parody and promotion, wrapped in sequence. Fact 24, air surfing stunts.
Blimey, let's go!
Flying wasn't weird enough, the Bugaloos sometimes surfed the skies. Actors balanced on rigged platforms while blue screen effects projected them riding surfboards through the clouds of Tranquility Forest. To kids, it looked magical. To the cast, it was nerve-wracking, balancing in heavy wings while wobbling on fake boards. The revelation? Air surfing fused California surf culture with psychedelic fantasy, creating one of TV's strangest visuals. The Bugaloos didn't just fly, they rode the air like free-spirited surfers, forever linking their image to 70s counterculture absurdity. Fact 25, Rhino DVD box set, 2006.
Hello? Is this the jukebox repair service? Well, I don't care who I sound like. Send somebody over here.
Then in May 2006, Rhino Entertainment released The Bugaloos, the complete series on DVD, remastered with cast and creator commentaries. Suddenly fans could binge all 17 episodes in clean quality and hear behind-the-scenes stories, painful wings, Martha Raye's antics, 5,000 auditions. The consequence? The DVD transformed the Bugaloos from forgotten relic to rediscovered cult gem, cementing their place alongside H.R. Puffstuff and Lidsville as Krofft icons of Saturday morning psychedelia. Fact 26, Krofft Superstars reruns, 1978 to 85.
Our boss is gonna be a movie star.
Peter? Peter.
As part of Krofft Superstars. For kids of the late 70s and early 80s, Joy, IQ, Harmony, and Courage weren't reruns. They were brand new heroes. The psychedelic bugs lived again, singing and flying daily on local stations. The ripple effect? The reruns gave the Bugaloos a second generation of fans, stretching their single season into a legacy that lasted well beyond its original lifespan. Fact 27, the Nickelodeon revival that never hatched.
That's a bathing beauty! She looks more like something that was washed up on the beach!
Nearly 45 years later, Sid and Marty Krofft tried to resurrect the Bugaloos for a new generation. Around 2017, Nickelodeon even filmed a CGI-tinged pilot. Sets were colorful, costumes updated, but something vital was missing, the psychedelic weirdness. Fans buzzed with cautious excitement, but executives passed, shelving the project by 2018. The fallout? The revival proved the Bugaloos weren't timeless, they were trapped in their trippy 1970s moment. Too bizarre for the polished world of modern preschool TV, their wings only worked in kaleidoscope colors, not CGI gloss. Fact 28, Martha Raye's double dose of villainy.
I'm going to simply show those teeny boppers that they can't. Just a second. All right, you kids out there, get lost.
1970 was Martha Raye's year of chaos. As Benita Bizarre, she lived inside a jukebox. At the same time, she played Boss Witch in the H.R. Puffstuff movie. 2 villains, 2 franchises, 1 booming voice. Raye dove into both roles with manic energy, never afraid to look absurd in wigs or neon costumes. Kids screamed, adults chuckled, and the result was legendary. Raye became the Krofft universe's undisputed queen of villainy, shaping 2 shows in a single year. Few actors can claim to define a studio's entire brand of madness in 12 months, but Raye wore that crown proudly. Fact 29, Tony Cholmondeley's Broadway touch.
Come on, Sparky.
The Bugaloos weren't just filmed, they were staged. Directed by choreographer Tony Cholmondeley, the musical numbers looked more like Broadway than Saturday TV. Camera moves synced to beats, wings twirled in choreographed steps, and glitter costumes popped under theatrical lighting. Instead of lip-sync fluff, performances felt like variety show acts, polished and tight. The ripple effect? Cholmondeley elevated the Bugaloos above typical kid fluff, creating a hybrid of sitcom, musical, and stage revue. It was weird, it was ambitious, and it cemented the show's reputation as a psychedelic cousin to the Monkees. Fact 30, continuity goofs with charm.
What did you do to my adorable voice? How could you turn out a record like this? Just so that tonight you're going to bed without your cheese.
For all its polish, the show was stitched together under heat, glitter, and long hours. Continuity mistakes slipped through. Benita's stereo zapper jumped positions mid-scene, props vanished between shots, costumes shifted shades under studio lights. One infamous blooper even shows Sparky's wings wobbling off during a dramatic speech. The revelation? Instead of breaking the illusion, these goofs added humanity. Fans cataloged them lovingly, proof that this psychedelic world was built by hand. The Bugaloos' mistakes became part of its charm, imperfect, messy, and all the more magical. Fact 31. Cult Collector's Treasure Hunt.
Person, my guest will be none other than the flaming firefly of rock, Gina Lola Waddick.
Because the show was short-lived, merchandise was almost non-existent. That scarcity turned surviving props, costumes, LPs, lobby cards into holy grails. Rumors swirl of bug wings hidden in private collections, but no official Krofft auction has surfaced. Fans scour conventions and online forums, trading tapes and replicas like underground relics. The fallout? Collecting the Bugaloos became a quest in itself. Ownership meant status. Scarcity became mythology. In the cult world, even a cracked wing or faded set piece is worth more than gold. Fact 32. Legacy as the monkeys with wings.
Come on, Sparky. Where am I? What happened?
Did you hear that, mate?
Great.
Critics still describe the Bugaloos as the monkeys with wings. It's both reduction and truth. Music, comedy, surreal misadventures. But the insect overlay made it something else entirely. Half pop band, half fever dream. Too weird to succeed, too strange to forget. The result? The Bugaloos carved a legacy of so strange it's brilliant, remembered not for chart hits but for sheer audacity. They weren't a failed Monkees clone. They were the psychedelic offshoot that proved Saturday morning TV could be fearless, bizarre, and unforgettable. Bonus fact, Sparky's heartfelt glow. Amid jukebox villains and glitter chaos, one nervous firefly stole the show. Sparky, performed by Billy Barty, wasn't smooth or brave. He stammered, worried, and fumbled his way through adventures. But he kept trying. Kids saw themselves in him, the insecure misfit who still mattered. Fan mail poured in, often placing Sparky above the Bugaloos themselves. The legacy? Sparky became the emotional anchor of the series, showing that heart and vulnerability could shine brighter than any psychedelic spectacle. In the end, it wasn't wings or songs that lasted, it was one anxious firefly's glow.